Happy Friday, y'all. Tiffanie Kellog here with another amazing woman entrepreneur living a child-free. Welcome, Jenn. Super excited to have you here with us today.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here.
And it sounds like you're coming to us from a very tropical location with the birds. So I just want to talk about the birds first because I hear the
I
birds
love it.
chirp in the background.
Yeah. I'm not in a tropical location. I don't know. I'm in St. Pete, Florida. And around the city for the last few years, there have been these like green parrots that I don't know where they came from. There's a theory that they escaped from like Busch Gardens years ago and now they've like populated. And they're not usually like by my house, but they are in a tree and there has to be a whole bunch of them and they are so loud. But I love them because like green birds flying around, I think is very fun. So
I love the green birds flying around. I feel like it is a very tropical soundtrack. And you're right, St. Pete's really not tropical, probably to you and I, who, yeah, and there's that whole thing of perspective, right? You and I don't consider St. Pete tropical.
right. But some
But
people, it is a good like respite from the cold for a lot of folks. Yeah. Even though it's so funny, it's like a little crisp in the air today, but that means nothing for like one of my clients who's like in Alaska and it's like already in the 40s. I'm like, all right.
I know. I'm like, ooh, I'm like, my BFF is loving this almost fire weather. And they're like, what's the temperature? And I'm like, it's 30s. And they're like, in the Celsius, or in Fahrenheit. I'm like, no, in Celsius. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I'm like, okay, maybe it was high 20s. I'm like, anytime it gets a little cold. So yeah, tropical is a relative thing.
Yes.
And since we're talking about animals and tropical, I think that's a
Yeah.
great segue-ish into our random thing. So when y'all were watching to see who we had today, Jenn is our gal. And her thing. So did you know there's a place in Baja where gray whales come up to your boat and you can pet them? And even if you look a little closer, I got to get close. Sounds like an amazing adventure, even better with other entrepreneurs. Or is it the scariest time ever? Jenn, what are we talking about
Yeah.
here?
So, ever since I found out that it's a thing, you can go to like whale camp. You can go to, there's a couple places in Baja where gray whales are coming in as they are migrating. And they're just like super friendly. There's this lagoon where they come right up to your boat. They're just very curious. And a lot of times you can pet them and just like interact with them. And like you're not swimming with them in this case, you're in the boat. And so I learned about it maybe 3 years ago. And ever since I've been like, I have to go. Like it's such a thing like that I just have to do. So in February, I am going February 5th to 9th. I'm going down and I found this company. It's two brothers that run it. They pick you up in San Diego. They take you down to Guerrero Negro. It's like a little ways down in Baja. And 3 times we get to go out in a boat and go interact with the gray whales. And I am so excited. And I'm making it a business trip. So some business friends are joining me. We're taking more people. If you are watching and you're like, oh, that sounds really fun, I would love to have you join us. And yeah, so that way we'll be able to also like mastermind and do a bunch with it. One of my friends that's coming, Emily, we went swimming with whale sharks together a few years ago. And we had that as like, it was a business mastermind. And it was literally just the two of us. And we would like work all morning on each other's businesses. And like to the point where like we were handing each other one another's laptops, which like that's a high level of trust.
Yeah.
To like get work done for our businesses and then spend the rest of the day like in the water, but like you're still talking about like life and business and it all interacts. And so like it was such a great way to grow my business. And then we had a full day where we went out to go swim with whale sharks as well. So yeah.
What about the big whales is it for you?
I don't even know. I'm like such a water person. Like I've often talked about how I'm like a secret mermaid and I've like gone diving. Like I've had my dive certification since like college. Um, I don't know. It's just like recently. And it's funny because like whale sharks are technically sharks. They're not actually whales. But and then this summer I was in Seattle for a roller derby game and I went on a whale watching boat and I was saying to a friend I had never seen whales breaching before and I really wanted to. And literally like a few minutes later, we saw our first humpback and it just started. It was a mama and a baby and they started jumping and it just like kept going and kept going. And at one point, like the mom dove underwater and the baby just kept going, like its little head would come up and then like splash down and come up and splash down. And it was like, and then the boat captain said we were in like humpback soup where it was like the most like humpbacks they'd ever seen at one time. It was like I don't know. I apparently I have a thing for whales.
And whales have a thing for you.
I hope so. I'm very excited to get to go pet some.
And it's interesting because some people think, okay, yeah, I'm working in my business. Like vacation is vacation. Why would I work on a retreat? Why would I go a mastermind? Why would I mix the whale trip with work? Like, why would I even do that? And that's y'all, we're not here. This is not what Jenn does. This is just where the conversation's taking us today.
I love it. It's not what I do. But you know what? It's so funny because like I really love in-person events in general because I love the getting to hang out and especially I love getting to hang out with other entrepreneurs and getting to talk about like business and like all things life and business. And I think that's so much how you grow relationships. And then that leads to referrals and partnerships and sometimes clients like directly or indirectly from that. And I don't know, there and also like just really good ideas for like growing your business. And yeah, so it's kind of like all of the above. Also, my wife has no interest in joining me for this. So if it was the type of thing where she wanted to go, it would be a different story, and I probably would make it happen with just the 2 of us. But no, she's like, "You're gonna get eaten by a whale," and I'm like, "It's literally not even possible." So
She's like, no, 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 no. That's not for me, huh?
it is not for her.
Isn't it such a fun thing, like as we think about our lives, especially like because here we are, y'all. This is women entrepreneurs living child free. So we do have that bond of child free. Some of us have partners, some of us don't. But we also have that flexibility and freedom because
Yes.
I don't hear the childed couples. I don't know. I'm gonna have to come up with, I don't hear parents talk about, okay, is there the me trip or the spouse trip? Like you're talking about doing a big, massive trip without your partner.
Right.
And then that, makes me think about, okay, if you had kids, would you do the same? And so now we're going to go into the random, again, we will get to what Jenn does because there is a really important reason why I want to have her on to talk to us. But, we have to go with where the conversations go. And I haven't even started on the bio at all, y'all.
It's funny because it makes me think about like we did actually, there was a point in time where we tried and it did not happen. And then the pandemic started and we were like, thank goodness. Like we were just like so grateful to be able to, and it is stuff like this. Like my wife really likes to go hiking. And so like she likes to be able like it's great because she's able to plan to go hiking whenever she wants. And it doesn't like, yeah. Yeah. It makes a difference.
Yeah.
And having other considerations. Yeah.
It is interesting how life is different in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep going with the yeah. And it's interesting, y'all, because so some people I've met in this whole women entrepreneurs living child free met this year as it's a new ideal. Jenn, I actually met like pre-pandemic.
I know.
Like right before pre-pandemic, we started hanging out in each other's circles. She came to a program. We went ice skating. there's all the kind of fun stuff that we had going on. But I do have to say this because Jenn lives in a space, and so I want to talk about her business a little bit now, if that's okay, because we do have Jenn, who is the ads maven and ads strategist, speaker, and consultant who helps coaches and wellness professionals grow their email list, fuel their launches, and get more clients through Facebook and Instagram ads. But one of the things I love about her, especially in nowadays when there's so many people marketing and we'll get you this, we'll get you this, we'll get you this. Like, I feel like Jenn is like, no, you're not ready for me. No, you're not ready for me, in a way that most people are like, give me your money and then we'll figure it out. Jenn does not do that. She's very much about, you're not ready for me. And to me, when you have somebody that's like, you're not ready to give me your money, like, you have to pay attention, because most people are like, yeah, give me your money and we'll figure it out. So Jenn, can you tell us a little bit about, your journey as you became the ad maven,
Yeah.
and what that's all about?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So way back in the day, I used to teach elementary school. I taught kindergarten for 5 years and then third grade for 3. And I loved teaching. I loved instilling a love of learning, especially a love of literacy. I did not love the politics and BS that went along with teaching in the public education system. While I was teaching, No Child Left Behind became a thing. Did not love that. So I stopped teaching, spent some time figuring out what I wanted to do next. And then fast forward a little bit to 2014. My dad's health was not great. He was introduced to a health and wellness product that had a big impact on him. He did pass in December of 2021, but I do believe that the product really helped extend his life, make his life easier. And my parents have basically been entrepreneurs as long as I can remember. And so they did what entrepreneurs tend to do. They started sharing about the product with everyone they knew. And so at the time, I decided to join them. And I knew nothing about the world of digital marketing, but I believe we're very much all lifelong learners. I'm very much an action taker. So I just started learning everything I could from everywhere I could, applying it, figuring out what worked, what didn't, and just kind of going from there. And very quickly, I found that running ads to grow our list so that we could sell to the list was super effective. I ended up growing my family's email list to over 160,000. And that was responsible for bringing in well over 22,000 customers and well over 2 million in sales from the ads. So then from that point, I just kind of started sharing what I know, and it's kind of evolved over time. So now I mostly work with coaches and wellness professionals to help them grow their email list, fuel their launches, and get more clients through ads.
And so I'm sure you hear people all the time like, oh, I run ads, I'm boosting this post. Like, give us your thoughts on the initial, like, what is it that people think ads are going to do for them? Because I think the magic wand. I'm going to run ads. I'm going to be rich. Yay.
I think that's true. I think it's like two extremes. It's either people think that like they're so easy and they're going to like fix everything, or they think that like ads are too hard, they're just going to waste their time and their money. And I think it's like somewhere in between, because it's like you have to really know what you're doing, or ads absolutely will waste your time and your money. Like, it's very easy to do that. And ads are not like a magic fix. You have to have a funnel that's working for the ads to also work. Otherwise, you really are going to waste your money.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about what you mean about the funnels need to actually work? Because I have a feeling people don't realize that there is more to ads than just here is an ad.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about the funnel side of things first? And then, like, if you're realistically going to do ads to create results, like what are we looking at?
Yeah. So I mean it in a few different ways. So some examples. If somebody is running ads to a webinar that they're giving, a lot of times I recommend doing the webinar organically before you start running ads to it, because you need to know that you're going to be able to sell in that webinar. Because if you're not able to sell, you could spend thousands of money bringing people in to sign up for a webinar. But once they get on the webinar, if you're not able to sell it, if it's a program that like isn't what people want, or you're literally just not able to sell, because like putting on a webinar, it's a lot of work. It takes time to know what you're doing. Like the ads will waste your money. Similarly, if you're running ads to grow your email list and you don't necessarily know who your target market really is, or you don't have your stuff worked out on the back end. So they're, once they get on your list, you're not emailing your list, you don't have an email welcome series. It's not going to then bring them in some other way, like to a low ticket offer or to schedule a consult, or it's not taking them to some next step. The ads are a little bit of a waste. Yeah. So that's what I mean when I say like, and it's just whatever works already in your business is what you're wanting to use to make your ads work for you.
Yeah, and I feel like most people think that ads are going to be what makes what they already have work.
No. And it's like, it's the opposite. It's like ads take what you already have that's working and let you scale it and reach a lot more people. And that's when you really want to be able to run ads. It's like when you have a business that is doing its job, you just need to reach more people.
Gotcha. So the people that are like, I have no business and nothing's working, ads may not be the best thing for them.
That is like the last step.
because and I say throw money at, because I think sometimes people think, and early on I was like, yeah, I'll boost this post for $15 today. Sure. Yay. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of the finer tips of, do I want to boost this post for $15? How much am I looking to spend? Is this a one and done flash in the pan kind of thing?
Yeah. So
got a lot of myths.
Boosting posts. Yeah. Boosting posts will waste your money the vast majority of the time. I have a great example. So part of why, let me talk about this first. The algorithm is brilliant. It knows way too much about us. The best thing about it is, I think, it knows how we use Facebook. It knows who's most likely to click, who's most likely to become a lead, who's most likely to make a sale or make a purchase. And when we run the ads, we can select, hey, I want to run the ad for leads. I want to run the ad for purchases. I want to run the ads for traffic. And Facebook will take your audience and it'll look at your audience and it'll say, okay, I know this person is most likely to become a lead. We're going to show the ads first to this group of people that are most likely to become a lead, most likely to buy, based on what you are saying is your goal. When you boost a post, the most that you can do is ads for traffic, ads to click a link to your website. But a person who's most likely to click is not necessarily the same person that's most likely to buy. So I had a client where when she first came to me, she was like, we boost a lot of posts, but they do their job. I'm like, great, I'm never going to boost a post, but okay. And she had a team that was really good at all the organic things. They ran her website, they did her social posts, they did her emails, all the things where she was not giving money. And they also boosted posts, but they didn't specialize in ads. And so she had a launch where she was doing a sale of her courses. It was like an annual sale. And I had a budget of like $6,500 to spend. Her team also had a budget of $6,500. So her team mostly boosted posts. I definitely did not. I ran the ads to her warm audience because we're more likely to buy from those we know, like, and trust. And I ran the ads for purchases. My ads got 70 sales and they brought in $180,000 from those sales. I think the ROAS was like 28 point something, meaning every dollar she gave Facebook, she got back $28 and some cents. The team's ads ended up having 10 sales for, it was like $400 a sale. And they had a ROAS, a return on ad spend of 0.97, meaning every dollar she gave Facebook, she got back 97 cents. So those ads that were mostly boosted posts lost money. They did make some sales, but they mostly lost money. Whereas the ads that I ran for her, she profited over $170,000 from.
So why do you find most people are boosting posts if
Because
it's
Facebook makes it easy. Facebook, like, anytime you make a post on Facebook or Instagram, they're like, oh, this post is doing so well. You could show it to like 20,000 more people if you just hit this button. That's literally like, I would be curious to know. I actually don't know how much, I don't know that they put it out there, how much money they make from boosted posts versus how much money like people invest in actual like in running ads inside Ads Manager, because they just make it so easy for people and they don't know. And ads are hard. And this is like, oh, well, I can at least do this.
Mm.
So, yeah.
I'll give you a few dollars here because it doesn't really matter versus do I need to spend the money?
Yeah.
Now, speaking of spending the money, y'all, because sometimes you need to spend a little bit of money to get in front of those people. And so Jen have an amazing gift for us, the ultimate high profits ad checklist. And I'm just going to chat for a minute while the dogs are doing what the dogs are
Oh
doing.
my gosh. I'm going to close my office door while you are talking.
Because Jen, if you can't tell, there are four-legged fur babies there. That is
Yeah.
what us child-free women have a tendency to do sometimes. I mean, sometimes we have the cats, but like, so my husband's out of town this week. I'm laughing because my husband's out of town for like the last time. He's been gone for a bit, but he's getting ready to be home for a long bit. And I'm like, oh, he has been gone for a long time. And like, he's only gone like 2 times in the next 3 months, whereas usually he's gone like every other week. And I'm like, that's a long time for him to be home. And I'm like, huh. But I was like cuddling with my puppies. And I'm just like, I just love the fact that the dogs are here. Like, but I wonder if parents look at their kids with the same amount of love that the dogs elicit, because kids can be a brat in a way that the dogs aren't.
Oh, yeah.
As much. And so I wonder, like, how does that random thoughts that are entering my mind this week, like, I just have that love for the dogs, but they don't talk back. They don't like.
It's true.
I mean, they do talk back, apparently.
Honestly, our dogs right now, like all of them have some issues going on though. One of our dogs, she's 17. She's got some mobility stuff. I'm taking her to doggy rehab twice a week. So that's a whole thing. And then one of our dogs, he just got diagnosed with hypothyroidism. So yeah.
All right. So let's go back to this gift. Jen has a gift to us, the ultimate high profit ads checklist. Can you talk to us about this, please?
Yeah. So I put this together because I had clients who were asking for like, hey, do you have some type of like punch list of all the things that I need to put together before we start the ads? And so that's exactly what I did. It's a Google sheet where it goes through step by step everything that you need for running list building ads to a video sales letter, which is going to a consult call, which is typically my favorite way to run your list building ads, or list building in general, even if it's also organic. So it walks you through the like landing page, the thank you page, your email welcome series, the video sales letter with some extra like tips about what to include in it and on it. It walks you through setting up quiz ads. It walks you through setting up launch ads, as well as setting up your business manager account. So yeah, it's really quite detailed and gives you.
I was gonna say, there's a lot that you mentioned that I had no idea was even out there.
Yeah.
Speaking of being out there, where can we find you out there? How can we be in communication with you? How can we find out if you're right to help us out?
I love it. So JennPossick.com. And then pretty much on most platforms is at Jenn Possick, JENN. And a couple places I'm at the Ads Maven. So on YouTube, I'm at the Ads Maven. Yeah.
Awesome. Jen, it has been awesome getting to chat with you here about this conversation, but we're also here because we are women entrepreneurs living child free, y'all. And we do have our Facebook group, Women Entrepreneurs Living Child Free. So come out and join the Facebook community. Come out and like us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, all of those places. We are trying to spread the word to get more ladies involved. And so, Jenn, this is the time of the conversation today where we turn to, why are you excited to hang out with some other women entrepreneurs living child free?
Oh,
Oh,
that's a great question. I mean, I think because every time that I have joined any of your stuff, it's always a good time. And I think there's some women in there that are just really smart business owners and great to connect with. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm finding they're unique professions. I am finding that there are more specialized women entrepreneur living child free.
Mhm.
Like I met a venting coach. I met someone like that helps with cheating. And I'm like, oh, I never thought about having that as the other side of it.
Yeah.
People may cheat, but they don't want to cheat. So how do they, help with that? Like,
Right.
been so interesting meeting women entrepreneurs living child free and having professions like I never even thought of
I
before.
love it.
Yeah. So come hang out with us, ladies. We're happy to have you. But in the meantime, Jenn, this is our chance. What is it that we need to make sure we know before you go?
Oh, it's a great question. So typically with ads, I do talk a lot about you want to make sure you have the budget to run ads. Typically, that for me means roughly 1,000 a month in list building. However, if you have a lower budget, there is a way that you can run ads for $5 a day that are still really quite effective. I just brought back my Ad Makers Society membership. I'm launching it on School. So you can go to School, it's skool.com/admakers to learn more all about it. And it really walks you through all things retargeting ads, which are the ads that you can effectively run for $5 a day to get people into your world, to schedule consult calls, to get them to buy from you and get into your world. Yeah.
Awesome, Jenn. Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for sharing. Y'all be sure to get her gift. Go check out her community on School. Do the things to make you create massive success today, y'all. Jenn, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And we'll see you ladies next week. It is Halloween. So now I'm thinking, oh my, I might need to go get a Halloween costume. What says child free woman entrepreneur? I will have to check it out. We will be joined next week by Megan, the founder of the Dames, a women's networking organization. So we look forward to seeing y'all next week. Same bat time, same bat